your Sixers are up 3-0 in the first round of the NBA playoffs in a game I have no idea what the hell I witnessed, because that game was just weird. That was one of the weirdest games that I have ever watched in my entire life. And I wasn't even home to watch this game. I was watching this game out of the corner of my eye on my phone while at the Phillies game. So yeah, that's where we are today. So hey, as long as you get the win, you get the win. It doesn't matter how it looks. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And your Sixers, you're up 3-0 against the Brooklyn Nets in a very ugly game, a game where you went through a lot of adversity, a game where you went through a lot of struggles, a lot of things that were going against you. The Joel Embiid-Claxton situation, Joel Embiid surprisingly does not get thrown out of the game. I would have expected more Joel Embiid to get thrown out of the game rather than what James Harden did, because that was the softest shit I've ever seen. It was. I literally, like I said, I was at the Phillies game today. Regretted my decision because that game was trash. I'll talk about that tomorrow after tomorrow night's game. I don't want to relive that right now. I want to talk about Sixers. Looking out of the corner of my eye, all I see is a little scrum happen, and James Harden complaining to the ref, and then suddenly he's ejected from the game. And then I look at the replay of what's going on. I don't even know how to describe it. And then Claxton eventually gets ejected from the game. This was just weird. And all of the fouls that were going the Brooklyn Nets' way, especially, in the late stages of the game. But then the Sixers defense without James Harden and, Tyrese Maxey, man. Tyrese Maxey scoring all those buckets in the final stages of the game. I believe he had like 10 of the final 13 points for the Sixers in this game. He was just, going crazy. He was perfect from 3 at one point in the beginning of this game. That's how lights out he was. Going down the court, just pulling back, pulling up, just hitting nothing but net. Tyrese Maxey, man, if he can find a way to just build this confidence, build some type of confidence going into round number 2 against the Boston Celtics, because we know he struggles against Boston. That is one of the important factors going into that series is Tyrese Maxey and how badly he struggles against that team. If he can just find a way to build some type of confidence from what he did tonight and what he did in game 2, that is going to go a long way for Tyrese Maxey and especially this Sixers team when they eventually do face the Boston Celtics in round number 2. So that's going to be huge for him. Joel Embiid, definitely a lot of questionable things in this game. There were a lot of moments where he was gimpy. That stupid situation with Claxton, I thought that was very stupid of Embiid to do. There was just no reason for it at all. Getting a little too emotional in this game. He did come up with the huge block at the end of the game when the Nets were trying to go and tie it. That was a huge block from Embiid. So when he's struggling offensively throughout the game, he's still coming up on the defensive side, which is, good to see from Embiid. Even though there are going to be moments, in this playoffs where Embiid's going to go off. I believe he's eventually going to. But also, I do believe it is huge that you get this win, because I just have this slight feeling that Joel Embiid is probably going to be suspended for Game 4 after that entire situation with Claxton, going down to the floor, basically kicking Claxton almost in the nuts, in the keister, whatever area he was kicking in. It was not a good look. It was not a good look from Embiid at all. I was very surprised that he did not get ejected from the game. I was just surprised that it was a regular flagrant foul, not a flagrant 2. Like, seriously, you look at the James Harden softness compared to what Embiid did. How the hell did James Harden get ejected? I have no idea. I have no idea at all. And it was funny, I just wasn't able to get the full experience of this game because I was at the Phillies game looking at the game down on my phone while at my seats, and I was in a situation in my seats where I was afraid to get hit by a foul ball, so I wasn't like staring at my phone while the game was going on. I was basically looking out of the corner of my eye, seeing what batter was up. Okay, it's not a righty. Okay, there's a very small chance that I'm going to get hit by a foul ball, so I'll look over here. But when it was a righty, I had to keep my eye on the game for the Phillies and all that crap. It was a bad night for Phillies-wise, but, full Sixers right here. But it was a good win. After everything was basically going against you the entire night, you found a way to pull it off. The refs, James Harden getting ejected, Joel Embiid having a sluggish night offensively, all of that stuff. Tyrese Maxey showed up. PJ Tucker, once again, showcased how huge he was. Getting some of those offensive boards and keeping some plays alive. That was very huge for this team. It was huge. It was very huge. So that's another thing there. Some guys off of the bench, too. D'Anthony Melton, I thought, had a huge day. He was very clutch off the bench. Looking at D'Anthony Melton in 30 minutes, he had 13 points off the bench. He was a plus 24. Huge defensively from him. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals. And also, that one steal that he had at the end of the game where the Nets were trying to inbound the ball. And I have no idea what the Nets were doing there. They just completely fell asleep, and D'Anthony just goes over for an easy slam with, a few seconds left. So that was weird. Seriously, just looking at this entire basis of the game, it was weird. It was weird. I have no idea, what I witnessed. I feel like everyone that was watching this game seriously had no idea what the hell was going on, and they had no idea how to explain everything because it was just that weird. There was just so much nonsense going around. With the Embiid and Claxton stuff, the James Harden crap, Claxton eventually getting ejected, the entire refs for the full-fledged game and how terrible they were. It was just a crazy, crazy game. But your Sixers pulled it off. And that's the most important thing. Most important thing there. And like I said, I do believe it's important that you got this win today because who knows what's going to happen with Joel Embiid for Game 4 with the whole situation. I do believe he's going to get suspended. I'd be very shocked if he doesn't get suspended. I'd be very shocked. We all saw the situation with Draymond Green. We saw that. And who knows how they view this Joel Embiid thing. Who knows? I'd be very shocked if he doesn't get suspended. I would be. Now, can you win a Game 4? Can you sweep this team without Joel Embiid on the road in Brooklyn? Hey, all the crap that you went through today, without James Harden, providing the points that he did today, without him on the court in the fourth, is it possible? Paul Reed has been really good this series, so you're going to have to find a way to, utilize Paul Reed and utilize someone else off the bench as a backup. So there's definitely going to be some question marks there, but hey, with the way Tyrese Maxey has been playing in these past 2 games, anything is possible. Who knows? With the Nets, could it just possibly be a situation where, oh my God, we had everything going for us today. We had the refs on our side, we had all this stuff, James Harden got ejected, and we still found a way to lose. Seriously, Game 1. We were hitting all these shots. We were shooting above 60% from the field, and we lost by 20. And then on a game where the Sixers had a terrible shooting night, we still lose by double digits. And then today, everything going for us. Everything. We find a way to lose again. So, could the Nets, could their spirits just be completely broken at this point? Could that be the case? On how it affects everything in Game 4? Without Joel Embiid? Could the Sixers just steal a Game 4 and get a sweep in this series? Because honestly, at this point, with the way Embiid was a little bit gimpy in this game too, it would also be very important just to win this series as quick as possible in Game 4, or if they force a Game 5, win it as soon as possible in these next possible 2 games, and just get some rest to get some guys healthy here, especially Joel Embiid, because he was a little bit gimpy in this game. Even though if he does get suspended, it'll give him a day off his feet, but it's just something that I'm thinking about in the back of my mind. It's just, when you're seeing Embiid fall all over the place and all that crap, it's just I don't want to see this, man. Come on, make it, just to stop. Just stop doing that. Just stop. You're giving me a heart attack there, Joel. I don't want to see that. I don't. I really don't. But what's done is done. And if he gets suspended, he gets suspended. It is what it is at this point. But it was really stupid what Joel Embiid did. It was just, at that point in the game, in the beginning, you just don't do that. You just don't do that. That's soft. That's some soft chicken shit there from Embiid. I know the emotions and all that shit are riding high, but in that situation in the game, you don't do that. The James Harden crap was soft from the refs. Harden didn't do anything. And when you're looking at all the replays, it just looks 10 times worse from what the refs called. Seriously, that was pathetic. That was absolutely pathetic. James Harden getting ejected. Man barely did anything. Barely did anything. Obvious flop. And he gets a flagrant 2. Get the fuck out of here. Freaking refs. My God. So looking at some of the other guys on the court, Tyrese Maxey, 25 points in 36 minutes. He was 10 of 17 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3. I believe he was 4 of 4 from 3 to start this game, so he was lights out basically to start, and he was huge in that fourth quarter too. Getting 10, I believe, like I said, 10 of the final 13 points for the Sixers. He was just lights out, and he was really good for this team. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal for Tyrese, so that was really good. James Harden, before he got ejected, he had 21 points in this game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 7 from 3, 8 of 15 from the field. He actually went to the free-throw line for once, 2 of 3 from there. Looking at Tobias Harris, he didn't put up 20-plus, but he still, had his defensive presence. He had 15 points in this game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 of 13 from the field. P.J. Tucker, he did hit a free-throw late. He only had 3 points in this game, but like I said, he always, keeps that presence felt with, his presence on the board and getting those offensive rebounds, keeping those plays alive, just being insanely aggressive, being a pest down there. So his presence was felt once again. 8 rebounds total, 3 of them from offensive rebounds, 4 assists in this game as well, and 1 block. And like I said, for Joel Embiid, sluggish night offensively, but he came up, with the defense. 10 rebounds, all of them on the defensive side. 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And like I said, 2 blocks, that one huge one late in the game where the Nets were trying to go down and tie it. I believe that was either on Dinwiddie or that was on Bridges. I'm not entirely sure who it was, but still, it was just a huge rejection, get the hell out of my face type of block from Embiid. And basically from that point, you knew the game was over. You knew the Sixers were going to go and eventually win it. And then after that block happened, it was a terrible inbound pass, which went right to D'Anthony, and all was said and done. That's basically it from there. Looking at some other guys, Jalen McDaniels in 12 minutes had 4 points. George Niang had 5 points off the bench in 19 minutes. Paul Reed in 10 minutes had 2 points, was a +1. And then D'Anthony Melton gave you some good minutes off the bench as well, 30 with 13 points. Sixers from 3, they were 41% there, 13 of 31, and they were 48% from the field. Once again, the Nets really struggled from 3. They only shot 10 of 30. Looking at some of the guys for the Nets, Mikal Bridges, he had 26 points. He was 4 of 7 from 3, 9 of 26 from the field. Spencer Dinwiddie, he had 20 points. He played 42 minutes in this game. 8 of 10 from the free-throw line, 2 of 4 from 3, 5 of 12 from the field. Johnston, he had 17 points, so definitely not as lights out as he was in Game 2. Claxton, before he got ejected, had 18 points. So definitely the loss of Claxton maybe put some emphasis there. But still, the Sixers defense, once again, they just completely shut down the Nets in the fourth quarter. The Nets only had 15 points in that fourth quarter. But still, when I'm thinking about this game too, you were up by, 11, 12 points going into the half. You thought at this point, okay, all this weird crap is going on. You're still up by double digits at the half. Then you come out in the third quarter, and it was just sloppy. The Nets go on a run. Sooner or later, the Nets had the lead. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? The Nets had 35 points in that third quarter. You had 18. But then it was just the complete opposite in the fourth. But then you get, the James Harden ejection and all that crap. It was just sad. It was just a joke. A joke. It really was. It really was. Like, seriously, I don't get how you eject him off that soft crap. It just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense at all. Like I said, very weird game. Very, 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 very weird game. Just crazy. All the refs crap. Going Brooklyn's way. Still found a way to win. Embiid struggling. James Harden ejected. Still found a way to win. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing there. Doesn't matter how you do it. They don't ask how. They just ask how many. That's it. Tyrese Maxey, man. Tyrese Maxey was just flat out fan-fucking-tastic. He was great. He was great. That's all that matters there. He was great. And he's showing a lot of confidence in these past 2 games. Really needs to show it once you get the round 2 against Boston. But this is really good for him to showcase his confidence. Going off like this. And if he can find a way to do this against the Boston Celtics, a team that he has struggled against his entire career, and we've seen that plenty of times this season. If he figures out a way to do what he's doing right now against the Boston Celtics, it's going to be a really good series. Because Embiid's eventually going to get his due. you know he's eventually going to have a game where he dominates. Much as just the way Brooklyn's defending him. They're constantly sending, double, triple teams all over the place. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. So, yeah. So, we're just going to have to wait for, some things to happen. And as I see the connection having some issues right here, so we're probably going to end this stream in a little bit. So, I can see from the live stream feed over here, it's just going a little wonky. So I'm just trying to make sure everything is okay here. So we're going to get the one call here on the Anytime hotline. Let's get to this one here from Sean, and then let's end off the stream because I can already tell. I can hear the feedback in my goddamn earphones. One of those nights. Sadly, it happened during a stream again. But let's get to this call from Sean, and then end off the stream. So, Sean, what do you got for tonight?
The word of the day is overcoming. That's what the Sixers did tonight. You overcame Embiid getting thrown to the floor like a rag doll. You overcame the Harden ejection, the rotten third quarter, and just the absolute shit show of an officiating crew. I mean, I've seen more flagrant fouls committed by 6-year-olds on the playground than what got Harden kicked out of the game tonight. I mean, I know as an Eagle fan, there's been a lot of talk this year about the NFL higher-ups fixing games. If that shit smelled and looked like the fix was in tonight, those guys did everything humanly possible to give Brooklyn that game, and the Sixers still won it. If anybody deserves to be flexing and taunting at the end of that game, it's Tyrese Maxey. What a performance by the kid coming down the stretch. In closing, look, the Sixers should sweep these guys out, and I hope they do, but God, I would be tempted. If Nick Claxton wants to flex and cheap shot and hit guys in the back, you know how you stop that shit? One well-placed Dusty Rhodes style bionic elbow between his eyebrows. If the refs aren't going to call it, do an NHL style officiating of your own and start leveling these guys out.
Freaking elbow to the eyes. Is that what we're doing, Sean? What, are we going to be Michael Bunting from the Toronto Maple Leafs getting suspended? Is that what we're going to do? Oh, man, that was good. That was a good one there, Sean. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, yeah, you overcame a lot of shit today. You definitely did that. I think that's a good summary for that. So, yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it off today. I want to make sure the stream ends on a better note than, with the connection being weird. It hasn't gone on for the past, it just happened for that little split second there. But I don't want to take any risks just because of my luck. And like I said, I don't want to take any risks. So I see some of you guys here in the live feed. Let's get to some of you. Ringo Starr saying it best you know it, don't come easy. Mullet petition for Alvarado. MMA style ugly W. Tyrese Maxey was amazing. Yeah, definitely. So yeah. That's going to do it for tonight, everybody. Like I said, I am not talking Phillies tonight. I don't want to relive that game. We'll talk about Phillies tomorrow after tomorrow night's game. We'll recap, basically, talk about tonight's game, and then whatever happens tomorrow. I'm going to be pissed regardless because of what happened tonight. Still, most likely, I probably won't be able to sleep, but we'll get to that when we'll get to that. So, thank you for joining tonight. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I like to see those. Do not forget to drop a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Join the TTP Sports family. And also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you once again for joining tonight, everybody. And I'll see you next time.